What is up, everybody? Man, it's me. It's Kenny Stubblefield. I'm here. It has been a crazy afternoon already. Anthony Sancho dropped earlier. We're talking a lot about some trades, whether or not to trade Jaren Jackson Jr. or Desmond Bain. Just had a lot going on. And then all of a sudden, the news drops that Tuomas Iisalo is now the new Grizzlies head coach. Been a ton of reaction, ton of interaction. We've had quite a bit of comments going back and forth on all of our group chats with BCM, and I wanted to jump in here and go live. The one thing that I will say that has been crazy about all this is that you got to love Friday afternoon news dumps, right? Where it just drops right in the middle of the afternoon, no warning, nothing like that. Because here's the problem. Most of us here at BCM, we do other things throughout the day. We have kids. We have to go pick up kids from school. We have jobs. We have all this kind of stuff. And so it's been kind of a last minute trying to get everybody on board to do a reaction. So I decided to go live. We're going to have some people dropping in from BCM to talk about their thoughts on this. Obviously, if you're in the comment section, please join us. Would love to hear from you. Yeah, it definitely took everybody surprised. I will say this. I don't think that the actual decision to hire Tuomas Iisalo is surprising by Zach Kleiman and the Memphis Grizzlies. I do think maybe the timing is a little bit. The timing of it, the quickness of it, the fact that it does seem like there probably was not a national or a global coaching search done for him. But yeah, King Meeks is in here. He says, guess we're keeping Luke Hatmaker's evil brother from Europe. That's true. We call Timo Iisalo is Luke Hatmaker. They look 100% like twin brothers. But yeah, it's interesting, man. I do have we got Rusty Buckets in here. Let me bring him in to talk. What up, dude?
Kenny, my guy. What's up, brother?
Man, where are you at right now? Where are you?
I am at Maggie's house in East Memphis, hanging out outside amongst the vegetables. We got a couple of some zucchini here, some tomatoes over there. So we're just hanging out, man.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
All right. We had some interactions. We had a lot of stuff going on. What were your thoughts, man? What were your thoughts? I'm going to bring in Parrish Sharkey, too. Parrish is here. Boom. Let's go. What are y'all stuff? Tuomas Iisalo named the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. First initial reactions. Rusty, what are your thoughts?
I let it digest for a while. I didn't want to say anything out of emotion. I let it sit for a little bit, and I kind of landed here. Like, I'm not surprised. We knew it was going to be Tuomas' entire time. From the moment he was brought in last summer as the assistant coach, like, this was coming whether we liked it or not. I think it's a good hire. He's an X's and O's guy. He knows, how to win at several levels. I don't know that it's a great hire. I think I'm a little frustrated that we're handing the keys to an unknown head coach with no NBA experience, with our big three coming into their prime. Now, I'm not saying he can't do it, but off the jump, I don't know that, I'm not saying that there was a great option out there, but a head coaching search wouldn't have been the worst. I think now it's done. It is what it is. For me, I think now we got to look at roster construction. Don't tell me this summer that Santi and Marvin Bagley III are our big pickups. Like, I need you to go do something. We've got a young head coach.
That's real.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm telling you, I've been preparing everybody in the group chats for weeks that's going to be ran out as our big summer acquisition.
No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe it.
I hope I'm wrong, Kenny. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm fine with Tuomas as long as we go get somebody, a Lauri Markkanen, a Domantas Sabonis, somebody that fits the system. That's where I land.
Parrish, I want to hear your thoughts. With the chat's popping off, I got some comments I want to share with y'all. But Parrish, I need to hear your thoughts.
Right. Anthony Saint been warning us about this since even before Taylor Jenkins got fired. It was like, on the show, Kenny, he would be like,
oh yeah,
hey, Tuomas, he came in to be the assistant under him, the head assistant. That time when got him, he kind of already made this known without directly saying it.
So speak to this real quick before you're hitting that point. Before you move on from that point, Wayno comes in and says, for the fans, this coaching search started when the season ended. For ZK, this started the day Jenkins was let go.
That started before.
This started last summer.
It started last summer.
It started last summer. Ain't no doubt.
Yep. I agree.
That's the thing about it, man. But in my opinion, yeah, I ain't bent out of shape about it because I already knew it was gonna happen, right? Also,
Exactly.
even that, we saw the Kings and the Spurs do the same exact thing. Literally, the Spurs just did it today. And a lot of people was like, oh, they didn't do no coaching search. The Kings just did with Doug Christie. So it's like when the Spurs did today, I knew I was like, oh yeah, they gonna announce too much probably today or maybe I knew it was happening when I saw that one.
But would you not say though that the Spurs and the Kings are in absolutely different positions than the Grizzlies are in terms of the trajectory of their franchise? So I guess like my question is that good enough, right? Like, is that enough to like say, well, the Spurs and Kings did it. Well, the Grizzlies have aspirations to man, everybody's jumping on. Hold on.
We got
Let me get it. We got hey, I'm gonna jump out of here.
I don't think I even put myself on. I think I just showed up here.
You kicked,
I was expected to be on the sideline.
You kicked Rusty out, bro. Hold on. There he is.
Well, that's how it should be, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm going to jump out of here and bring Anthony in. Anthony's waiting too. Hold on. I'm going to jump out. He's supposed to
take over the hosting duties.
Yeah, I got it. I'll take it from here. Listen, like we've been talking about this.
I can take it too.
If you've been paying attention, you knew this was going to be the hire all along. Like this is no surprise whatsoever, right? And so I think, Parrish, you were kind of talking about this. I think the Spurs promoting Mitch Johnson is a bit more surprising. Like I felt like that one was going to be more of like a Taylor Jenkins or Mike Malone or something like that. But that was a bit more surprising. Or Budenholzer, right?
I thought Budenholzer was I thought they would hire Budenholzer. I saw that. I was like, oh, I knew at that point. I was like, yeah, Greece definitely hired too much.
Yeah. So y'all, the precedent was set at that point, and you kind of again this started last summer. I'm gonna jump out of here, let y'all boys take it from here. I know Stain's waiting to get in. Kenny, you're in charge of these buffoons, man. But listen, ball up top. Tuomas is the head coach. Go fix the roster around him.
Hey man, tell Maggie we said hello.
We'll do. She's watching inside, so she heard that.
Let's go.
That's what's up.
There he is. What's up, dog? Are you muted?
No, we cannot hear, man.
Hold on.
I got you.
Man, be careful on the road, man.
Be careful on that road, bro.
Hear me though?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, hey, I wanna. We had a little bit of a fight in one of our group chats between Drew and Anthony. I wanna mediate the conversation.
I'll let y'all get to it. I want to hop in for a second. I'll get y'all later too.
Anybody that carried Taylor Jenkins water that long can't talk to me about shit about no coaching. I don't even want to hear it.
Drew, did you hear that?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm out.
I don't want to hear nothing that man talking about when it comes down to coaching. That man carried Taylor Jenkins water to the final drop.
Listen, I said he had flaws. I just put more of the onus on other stuff. Like I see the bigger picture a little bit better. There wasn't one scapegoat to the season, no matter how hard anybody tried.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
listen,
man. I'm just gonna name some names, gentlemen. I'm just gonna name some names real fast. Phil Jackson, Steve Kerr, Eric Foster, Ime Udoka, Joe Mazzulla. That's all I got, bro. First year coaches that came to vet teams, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? Like it's different ways to skin a cat, bro. Could we go out and get whatever the big name coach or whatever? Sure, whatever. But I don't think that's necessarily what has to happen for this to happen. As far as the coaching search thing, Zach Kleiman made his coaching search last summer. That's evident. He did his interviews last summer, and this is the guy he wants to hire. It's not the first time that a team identified a guy that they want to be their coach, and as soon as the opportunity came up, they hired him without a search. As a matter of fact, there's 30 teams with 30 coaches in the NBA right now, and nobody this offseason was hired as a result of a coaching search. They just hired their guy. If I thought Coach Iisalo didn't know ball, I'd be concerned. But the man's resume speaks for itself, bro. He was the best coach outside of the NBA. You know what I mean? You feel me? So if that's the guy if Taylor Jenkins coached this whole season, they fired him, I'd be excited about hiring a guy that's the top coach from overseas, just like I was excited about them bringing him in as an assistant. But it's all on him now, man. He's got to get in. I'm assuming that he's already given the players some type of plan for the summer, expectations, all those type of things. I'm sure he's already been, going through those type of things. He's got to continue to do that and have something ready when these boys come back to camp to implement his thing on both sides of the ball. But I'll leave this final analogy, man. Now, I love a good analogy, kid. I gotta get off the phone because I am driving. But I was a substitute teacher at one time, right? And I was a substitute teacher it was a pregnant lady that was the teacher, right? And she was having a baby, so I ended up a one-day assignment turned into a rest of the season, rest of the school year assignment. But it was like at the end of the year. And like all the teachers told me, don't worry about none of the academic stuff. Just make sure they ain't acting crazy. And if you need something, come find me, right? Right. So that's what the teachers were saying. Like there's nothing you can teach these kids because they even if you came in the beginning of the year, you could teach these kids something. But whatever they know at this point, it is what it is. Testing time is next week. Like, you know what I mean? It was time for these kids to start taking their tests. It was like everybody chill, and we'll just get through the year and whatever. That's the situation Tuomas Iisalo was in. This is everything these guys know on the basketball court is under the tutelage of Taylor Jenkins in the NBA. And I think it's crazy to have expectations that he was going to come in and do some Helen Keller miracle work. Not Helen Keller. Yeah, Helen Keller. No. Helen Keller was
Everybody knows Helen Keller, famous miracle worker.
Famous miracle worker Helen Keller.
Yeah. So, I think it's a solid hire, man. I don't care about that coaching hire stuff. Plenty of coaches have been hired. I don't care about that coaching search stuff. If Kleiman identified his guy, remember, kid, this is what I said the other day. If Kleiman gonna be the GM, let us know Kleiman gonna be the GM. If Iisalo gonna be the coach, let us know Iisalo is the coach. The fact that we got this announcement today shows that the Grizzlies are ready to go ahead and get this offseason started. No time for the BS. It is what it is, man. Let's get to it. But gentlemen, I'm gonna let y'all go. BCM, big love to y'all, man. Keep doing your thing. Big off season ahead. Ain't no days off, man. We cranking up even more, man. This summer, man.
Let's go, man. Let's go. All right, brother.
Bro.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, bring them back. We got Paris back. We got Drew in. Drew's on the North Mississippi Wi-Fi right now. His Wi-Fi went down.
Yeah.
This is what's crazy about this whole thing is that that as soon as the news dropped, everybody's Wi-Fi went out. Everybody was out doing something. It was crazy. We're all trying to just formulate this.
His dang ring lights broke. I don't know what the heck's going on. Listen, I'm frustrated, and it really has nothing to do with Tuomas or his ability to coach. Is that fair? Like, this whole charade, like, everything that happens after this, or that's happened this season, just should have happened last year. It totally derailed a whole season. The firing of the assistant coaching staff, and the hiring of him and bringing him in as an assistant. It neutered the team to start the year, and it tanked the whole season. And we end up with him, and it's fine, I guess. I'll concede that we don't really know what he can do, but also it's like we don't know what he can do. My whole thing going into this coaching search in this offseason is I wanted veterans, and that included the coach. And so you didn't even try. You just continued the plan of action starting back last season that showed that it didn't work. It harmed the whole season, and we're just going to continue going on with it. And fine, but at this point, Zach Kleiman is firmly entrenched with Tuomas, which it seems that he's happy with. But you cannot fire Tuomas without firing Zach Kleiman at this point. Yep. It's totally entrenched. It was a total foregone conclusion, and we knew it the whole time. The only thing I wanted was just pretend to be serious about vetting somebody outside of your own office here. You didn't have to go hire Mike Brown. You didn't have to go hire Sam Cassell. You didn't have to go do anything. But if you go talk to them, the messaging to the fans who are extremely frustrated is very clear. We talked to Mike Brown. We talked to Sam Cassell. We talked to Michael Malone. We talked to X, Y, and Z. We did our research. And we believe that the best guy for this job is here and was the assistant coach this year. We believe that after talking to everybody. You can't say that. And so for any Grizzlies fan that just expects more of the same next year, that's what we got this year. The move inspires nothing greater for me. I know he didn't end the season well. There was zero chance that he was going to be successful. with 9 games of runway left. He just wasn't. But it still went badly, and everybody's pissed, and you're just going to hire the guy back without even talking to anybody? Like, what message does that send?
I'm gonna keep it frank with you. Y'all still be mad if they did coach a search and he still got hired.
No, I said this on the show. Like, I truly am. I was mad at the job that of how you you ruined a season by neutering a coach postseason. He was the benefactor of that, but he was not. He didn't hire himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has nothing to do with T.I. for me.
Yeah,
and
I know that.
I kind of agree with saying, like, everywhere he's been a good coach. You know, maybe he can make the jump to the NBA and be a good coach too. But, like, you sacrificed everything. You pitted players against coaches by doing this before last season. And if you were going to neuter a coach and give him his walking papers a year early, you should have just fired him. Like, we're not in this situation like right now if you just handled it last season. If Zach Kleiman had a conviction that he should have, that Taylor Jenkins was not up for the job, which he did, obviously, after last season, he should have just fired him. It's his right as a GM. He should have just fired him. He tried to split hairs, and it left everybody with just an awful taste for a whole 82, which turned into 84, 88 game season.
Yeah.
It just an absolute crap show in which no one was on the same page. Everybody seemed to hate each other, and it mercifully ended with a 4-game sweep to the 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's just like, and our response to that is like, you know what? We're not even going to ask anybody else. We're not going to consult opinions of people who maybe have been in the league for 20 years. Like, we're just going to like, nope, the answer was here all along. Like, give me something.
Hey,
give me something else.
Hey, Kenny, can you post that comment from DZ? Because that was actually what I was about to go through with next. He literally took words out of my mouth. This is where I was at. If you're going to hire Tuomas, don't waste my time with a fake coaching search. Just go and hire him like you did. If you are going to go on coaching search, move on. Like, you're going on the coaching search and you're actively looking for another head coach. I would have been, myself, I would have been more mad. I actually ain't even mad because I knew this was coming. But if they had won coaching search and said he was it, nah, I'd have been mad then. Because ain't no way you would have told me I'm choosing him over Mike Malone. Right?
Okay.
You would not have sold me on this.
Well,
come on.
Well, then, then you're admitting at that point that he's a lesser coach than some of the coaches you could have hired. So
yeah, I am saying it. Potentially. Yeah.
Let me.
I'm not out on him, and I don't think he sucks. I'm just like, I wanted veterans.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I don't think you're wrong. It does sound like to me, Drew.
Yeah, same thing. I don't think you're wrong either.
It does sound like to me, Drew, that your beef and most of the reaction that I've seen, you know, from people that are like, what are we doing here, is more about Zach Kleiman's decision making than it is about Tuomas Iisalo, right? Like about what he did, the process.
Season. I said it all season. Like, listen, something's going on here. And I got painted a Taylor Jenkins apologist for just putting blame on other places as well. Like, at the same time, multiple thoughts aren't very, you know, that's wild to have multiple thoughts. But my whole thing was like, listen, he didn't start sucking out of nowhere. Something's going on. Like, all of Grizzlies fandom for the first 5 years of his coaching experience was making arguments how he's one of the better coaches in the NBA.
Except for the guy on the other side of the screen. How long have you, Parrish, been talking about Taylor Jenkins as the coach for the Grizzlies? You've kind of been out on him for a minute, right?
Oh yeah, since that way after the Lakers series, after that season, I've been done. But you know, he go high end with coaches. I don't care who the head coach is, right? As long as the coach get the job done.
You just can't. Right? You just can't split a locker room up. It's poor management.
Yeah.
You divided the whole thing. You said you gutted his whole staff that he had. And again, we're talking about assistants. So like, who really cares? But it's the point that you're making subliminally to everybody. You have cut the legs out from under your head coach. You've flown to Paris and you've gotten this guy in, and everybody knows what that means. And so as soon as Taylor Jenkins does something that Ja doesn't like, he's out. Like, you're done. I mean, he's done. I'll try again next year with a new guy. Hey, you're a lame duck.
Yeah, that whole just really going back to the whole. We've said it throughout this whole season. Climbing last year when he did all the coach and stuff, like, what you doing all this for? Like, just go ahead, fire him, and move forward, right? And then the new information come out, he goes overseas and recruits him. We knew this was happening, but of course, I'm not gonna tell fans how we should feel. I knew this would be, backlash, people be mad. That's understood, right? So I don't blame you, Drew. I feel your emotion. I understand. Be on the other end, I always go with the process of like, okay, I knew it was happening. I'm not finna waste my time getting mad at it. I hope he can be good. Just like I didn't believe in Taylor Jenkins, but I was hoping he could prove me wrong. The Grizzlies are my team. Prove me wrong, please.
I didn't expect to be mad about it either, and I'm really not, because I'm with you like the same way. Like, I knew this was going to happen. I'm just so passionately anti-hire the interim. It rarely ever works out, especially when the biggest problem with this team this year was the fact that your star player was a malcontent. You couldn't ever get the team on the same page. There was so much problem with effort and not buying in and quitting. The interim coach was the lead assistant on that team. Like, you just can't tell me like, oh, there's a new sheriff in town. No, there's not. You just promoted the lieutenant after you fired the sheriff.
the deputy chief.
Barney Fife is now the coach. You walked all over Andy, okay, and they fired Andy, and now Barney, who's just the only other guy left in the office, gets promoted because.
hey, man, Barney Fife with better
headline. Make the headline. Tuomas Iisalo equals Barney Fife, and that clip will go crazy.
Hey, Wayno, I want to help Wayno. Wayno might not know who Barney Fife is. I want to help him out. Being where he's from, being from overseas, I'm trying to help him. Barney Fife with better hair, right? Like just check out the Barney Fife video. Tuomas Iisalo is Barney Fife with better hair. Is that what you're saying? Well, hey, listen, here's the thing. He's the coach.
Yeah,
like, moving forward, he is the coach. Like, he's the guy now. So it's all on him, right? So, and it's all on Zach Kleiman. So I guess the question I have for you guys is, what does Zach Kleiman need to do to make this thing be successful for Tuomas Iisalo? Like, that's the big question.
Players.
Daniel Greer said this, and I really appreciate this comment. If ZK puts together the same type of team, T.I. will be viewed as a terrible coach too. Do y'all agree with that?
That goes back to what Rusty said. Yeah, if you come this offseason and be like, all right, we're going to sign Santi, extend Jaren, we about to bring back Marvin Bagley. Let's run the thing back. Yeah, good luck PR-wise, exciting fan base going to the season and believing anything going to the next season. So yeah, saying what Greer said is right. They gotta make something. They gotta do something. They gotta make some moves. Some real like dog like players. Some players that's gonna get feisty. That care about playing defense. That can shoot. We need 3-and-D players. Like they can't run this quite big.
Pre-firing of Taylor Jenkins, I was just banging the drum that these players suck, and that's the reason why the rotation sucked. It's because nobody's good for 40 minutes straight, back-to-back games. Like, the role players suck. Like, oh, you think? And so, like, now, if it's the same problem, like, I want everybody that was anti-Taylor to be anti-T.I. And I'm just going to keep saying, like, the players suck and Zach Kleiman sucks. You've got to get players. You've got to. There is 3 players on this team I would not touch. 2.5. For the right deal, I'd trade Dez. But there's 3 players that I wouldn't touch.
I was like, I don't know about 3 anymore.
Yeah, I don't know about 3 anymore.
Yeah,
I'll go 2 on him.
No, Dez. I'm not out on Dez. Dez is mismatched worse than Yeah, for the right price, Dez. But like, I'm not shopping him. Yeah, I'm not shopping him. Yeah. Dez is a byproduct of John Morant, just like every other player on this team not named Jaren Jackson Jr. He's better when Ja's on the court. Breaking news, Ja's elite.
Yeah, breaking news, Ja makes players better when he's out there.
Right.
100%.
And so that's it. I got to hop off here. My kids are home, and we're going to start our weekend. I just that's my few cents here. $2 Sports Show on Tuesday. I'm sure we'll get into it a whole lot.
Well, Drew, and I'll just, as you go, I'll just tell you, I don't disagree with anything that you said today. I don't
just end the sentence there.
But no, I'm just joking. No but. You're the hey. By the way, I just want to tell you, everybody's saying, well, let me find these. Someone said, looking at you like they're watching NBA Live '95, looking like they've blurred your video for your identity's sake, so you're
my light
being put up.
Went off.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Shout
all
out.
my pets' heads are falling off. Yeah.
Shout out, man. Hey, enjoy your weekend, bro.
All right, see you guys.
See you, man.
All right.
Listen, we'll get out of here soon. We'll get out of here soon, but I don't know. Like, we can sit here and we can complain about the process and how it happened and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think that's an unfair. Paris, you're not saying that's an unfair critique, right? The process of how this went down.
I mean, because when you're a fan of the team, right? You're gonna have some type of emotion. So I expected every bit of emotion to come out, every bit of that thought process. Everybody in my LBR group, man, because at least did a coaching search. That's the main thing I seen all day, right? And I expected him to get hired. I also expected the reaction.
Yeah.
Two things can be true, literally. I expected all of this.
The coaching search thing is just so wild to me. Like, I feel like in a lot of ways, and this is going to sound, I don't mean this to sound negative. I feel like we are, as a city, as a fan base, as a team, the Grizzlies have been here for a very long time. And I think we sometimes, as a fan base, still struggle thinking that about coaching searches and the way that players are brought to an NBA franchise through college glasses, through the college lens, right? Like, I just don't necessarily view coaching in the NBA as important as coaching can be more damaging than it can help. Does that make sense? Like, you can do more damage coaching than you can help. Like, you can really do a good job of the things that coaches can impact in terms of NBA roster, NBA franchise throughout the game, throughout a season, rotations, who plays when, and basically getting your best players the ball in their most advantageous positions. Right.
Like, getting your two best players to play well together at the same time. That's what separates the great from the good ones.
Like, how much impact do you think a coach has on free agency in the NBA?
Man, I'm not gonna say no percent nothing, but they have a whole lot less of it, right? It's probably, I'm sure the GM, you have to get the coach's input because this is their team they're coaching, but they don't get. It's like NFL, for instance, like in the draft,
right? The
coach has something, but he ain't got that much input, right? And if I had to put a percentage on it, maybe 35, 40, if that. I ain't gonna get that 30, 25%, somewhere between 25 to 35.
In the college game, that's the narrative, right? When a player is choosing between where to go to school, whether it's through high school recruiting, whether it's through the transfer portal, things like that.
That's all coaching, yeah.
It's all what coach is going to help me get to where I want to go. And I view that as, and even in this situation, like, I recognize the idea that the process might be limited, but I also do agree with saying, like, someone said in the comments, and I think I might have started just a few minutes ago, but well, no, I didn't. But basically it was about Zach Kleiman kind of standing on business, right? With these decisions that he's making. When he is the guy here, he is the face of the Memphis Grizzlies in terms of the front office, right? Like, Robert Pera is he's not an owner that is, putting his face forward. He's not out there making statements, doing anything like that. And so Zach Kleiman is clearly putting his reputation, his job on the line with two real decisions that he's made this year. Number one, at the free agent deadline, at the trade deadline, letting Marcus Smart go, just cash dumping him, getting rid of Jake LaRavia, going all in on Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams, Jalen Wells, and Zach Edey. That is a major decision that he made. And it's, if it doesn't work out, those are fireable offenses, right? Like those are things that you lose your job for. This coaching search is absolutely 1000% this is my job on the line and this is my guy, right? And the fact that he knew that, the fact that he believes that, and he made that decision, to me is, I go, okay, well then let's get together and let's make a plan and say, let's put the best, like, let's put him in the best possible position he can be in. And I think there's one way he does that, and that's through the roster. And the second way he does that, the way that he can do that is through, who does he surround Iisalo with on the bench, right? Like what assistant coaches does he go and get? Like who does he go get to support him in that way? What are your thoughts on that? Is that what are your, in terms of the roster and in terms of the assistant coaching, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I would think the coach is more outside last year when Zach Kleiman when he got assistants for Taylor Jenkins. But I would think definitely the coach has more input on his assistants. But to your point, I can see Zach Kleiman interjecting some. Well, at least they're going to probably work collaboratively. I know Tennessee Titans, my favorite NFL team, loves that word, collaborative effort.
Collaboration.
Right.
Yeah.
Collaboration. They loved it the last couple of years and fired a GM and coach every year for the last few years. But, I think, yes, I think they do definitely collab on a lot of those things. Roster-wise, it would be mostly Zach Kleiman. And like you said, he hedged his bet at the deadline. It failed for the rest of this season. We're going to see. He's hedging his bet on coaching, and we're going to see what moves he makes this offseason. But like Drew said, he made a great point. They're going out together. If this don't work, they're going out together. And
they will.
Yeah, they're going out together. It could be a blow up for the roster. And we talking about top players on the roster too, potentially. This might be 100, 0 to 100, 100 to 0. This might be the all in, or this is it. This is probably going.
Well, this is his
seasons or 2 years.
This is absolutely Zach Kleiman pushing all of his chips in, right? Like this is it. Like this is it. And you either go bust or you win the whole damn thing, right? Like you either go bust or you go all out, right? It's that intensity, that level of what that means to me is that how many years have we been talking about the Grizzlies championship window, right? Like what is the window? Is it closing? How open is it? Is it 3/4 open? Is it 1/4 open? Is it half open? Like what is the championship window? This is it, right? Like the window is now wide open and the chips have been pushed in, and the expectations are clear, right? Like we are going all in here.
And he made it known. He made it known his exit interview. That clip, that funniest clip on here with Chris, and then he come in, sitting down, said 8 seed, 48 wins, terrible. Yeah, he said it right there. Like he said, so that's not all you need to know.
It's not enough. It's not enough just to go. It's not enough just to get into the playoffs. I want to make a deep run in the playoffs, right? Like that's where it's at. And so, man, I'm as wild as it is, this news dropping today on Friday afternoon. I don't think anybody's surprised by it. We've been saying it for a while. And I do think that it is like my reaction to it. I think your reaction to it is to stay level-headed. And I think people are seeing that. Wayno says, man, Parrish is always keeping the level head. And I think that's real. But I just think that we knew that there wasn't going to be a long, runway towards, what this new head coaching position would look like, because you don't fire a head coach with 9 games left in the season in the midst of a playoff run when the team is falling off a cliff, getting it. Like even the 4-game series against the Oklahoma City Thunder, you just go, listen, man, like this is not an interview for Tuomas Iisalo. But I will say, there were things that I saw that he did that I didn't like in those 13 games. Like there were things that he did that I was just like, what are we doing here? But there were some things that I did like. What were some things? What were some things that he did in those 9 games, those 13 games, I guess, with the playoffs included? What were some of the things that he did that Tuomas Iisalo did that you did like?
Definitely just incorporating pick and roll back into the offense. Ja Morant looked like himself again, right? And not saying he didn't like himself the entire season, but majority of the season with the whole and I was the type of person, I didn't really get into the offense too much because we led the league in scoring and shot our highest field goal percentage, 3-point percentage on the season. But your best player wasn't looking right? And Tuomas definitely got him involved. I had a chance to go to a practice finally, I think right before the Dallas game, the play-in game. And I just saw like, I don't know how it was with the I don't call them the big three, the core three and Taylor Jenkins, but just seeing all of them in a room together, like just those 3 and Tuomas, those 4 in a room together discussing different things. It kind of let me know like they felt all in on him. And
did it look different? It looked different to you in the practice? Yeah.
Right. But like I said, I'm a person, I had never been to a practice before, so I can't tell you how it was for Taylor Jenkins. Right. But just the feeling being there was like, it feels different. It feels like they vibe with him. They understand him. And they kind of showed that the exit interviews. They gave their endorsement of him, like some things he did. So mostly that, his rotations, I mean, he's still the thing. I'm gonna go to things I didn't like. That Ja Morant did play 37 minutes a game too against OKC, or 40 minutes. But starting at 4th quarter, we was down by 9 without him, and that lead ballooned up to 20.
Egregious.
Things like that. That he kind of like, but overall his rotations were better, but he still did some things I didn't like. But he's a rookie head coach. He had to coach in his first playoff series, 9 games after his first official head coaching job in the NBA. I didn't expect him to be perfect at all. Nowhere near it, especially with a team with this many deficiencies. And you add on the injuries to Brandon Clark, Jalen Wells, then Ja Morant, right, getting hurt. Not even the OKC game 3, the Golden State game. He got hurt when we made the comeback, right? So you really couldn't judge him off of those 9 games. It just
I agree.
It was impossible.
Yeah, it was. There's just too much, and I think even Anthony's talked about this on the show before. Just the legacy issues that are involved in this with this franchise right now. There's some things that need to be uprooted and gotten rid of, right? Whether it's whatever it may be, whatever the problem is, if it's bringing in, the fresh blood, like it literally could just be, and this is what I'm interested in seeing is what is an off season with a non-lame duck head coach with the full collaboration, as the Tennessee Titans like to say, with the front office as they are trying to, their jobs are on the line together, right? Like their jobs are on the line together.
Yeah.
We're working together to make this thing work. We're in lockstep together because if we're not, we're all out of jobs, right? Like then, and this whole thing is done, right? This whole roster is probably going to get blown up if this thing doesn't work. What does an offseason where some of those issues, those legacy issues that Anthony's been talking about, are able to be uprooted out like that? I think that's going to be interesting. And I want to give it a chance. I want to give Zach Kleiman a chance to, I think he mismanaged the Taylor Jenkins situation. I think he should have just let him go.
Severely.
I think he should have just let him go.
It's like you didn't want a bad. It's like you didn't want a bad PR. Like fire him after the injury of the season didn't look good, but then fire him 9 games doesn't look good either. So
yeah,
you was better off just doing it last year. Then you already knew what you want to do last summer, but for whatever reason, you should have stood on business. You should have stood on business last year and just went ahead, went with your first mind instead of wherever the season ended up being. I can't even give a good
maybe
word
he
to describe
learned
how the season was.
And maybe he learned that. Like I don't think that. I know Drew was talking about it earlier that this was an unmitigated disaster of a season. I don't see it that way. I'll be frank with you. Like I don't think the entire season was a disaster. I think from the All-Star break on was just it went off the rails, right? But maybe as a part of that growth process for Zach Kleiman, he learned, man, when you have an inkling to do something, when you have an idea, when you're the guy and this is the direction you want to see your franchise go, just make the decision and go. Even if you're ridiculed, who cares? Right? Like, make the decision, because I would have probably come on the air if he had fired him after last season. I would have fired Taylor Jenkins after last season. I probably would have come on the air and been like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Did you not see what the Grizzlies went through, it like injury wise, all that kind of stuff? Like, do you not see what just happened with this team? Because we were even in the group chats that we've had over the year. Like I said, I didn't think Taylor Jenkins' seat was hot last year until they fired all the assistants. When the assistants were let go, I was like, whoa, okay, something is going on here, right? Like, something is going on here.
It became pretty obvious at that point.
Yeah. But anyway, so we can get into roster construction. We don't need to do that now. We've been on for 42 minutes.
We got 3-4 months for that.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 months for that. I can promise you we will be back on here. Hopefully everybody's internet will work. Hopefully it won't be Friday afternoon at 4 when the news dump happens. But man, anyway, what a crazy day. I don't have a feeling anyway, one way or the other. Just last thoughts. Don't have a feeling one way or the other that Tuomas Iisalo. Do I think he can coach? Hell yeah, he can coach. Everywhere he's coached, he's been good. He's had championship teams. He's been good. This is the NBA. It's a different league. It's a different situation. Can he adjust? Can he, take his ideas and bring them into the NBA, the highest level of basketball on the planet? I hope so.
Right.
I think he probably can. But I just, as a last thought, this is Zach Kleiman pushing all of his chips in and saying, I am either going to go, I'm going to either win this entire thing or I'm out, right? I'm out. And I don't mind that. I when someone's back is against the wall, I'm interested to see what happens here. So,
yep, definitely, man. My last thoughts. Like you said, one of them, what's my guy, dog, that did that? I hope so. Like, who was there? Kodak Black on that Breakfast Club interview. I hope so.
I hope so.
It's literally that. But I see some things that make me be a believer in Tuomas. I mean, something just as simple as, man, Jeff Calkins said on Twitter, he said he speaks better English than his predecessor.
Jeff Calkins, shout out to you, dude. That is one of the funniest tweets I've seen in a long time. A Finnish guy's English is better than Taylor Jenkins' English. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right, man. But yeah, literally. I mean, just me being in the media, being in the room, it's easier to listen to a press conference from him than Taylor Jenkins. And not to keep shit on Taylor Jenkins, but dog, that was night and day. That was night and day. But I do want to ask Chris, shout out to Chris Ingram, man, host of No Bluffing podcast. He had a question for us in the chat.
Yep,
he said, do y'all think it was the right move? Personally, I would say yes. If he did the coaching, I'm the opinion. If he did the coaching search and then went with him, I think that would have been the wrong move. I think him saying, forget it, I ain't doing coaching search, I'm gonna go right with it. I think it's the right move. I think it was either do that or cut ties when completed and go with a coaching search and choose somebody else, but not do a coaching search, a fake coaching search, then come back to him. That was gonna be that's what would have pissed me off. So
how annoyed do we get as NFL fans with the Rooney Rule when
that pisses me off?
Teams bring in overqualified black men as candidates for head coaching
every year.
And then they go, well, we're going to hire this guy instead, right? Like, and we're like, wait a second, don't play games with us. Like, we know
right.
You had this guy picked. The fact is, man, this dude was just like Zach Kleiman picked him a year ago. He picked him a year ago,
right? Made
the mistake and not bring him in immediately as the head coach. And now he's righting that wrong. And he's like, this is my guy. I'm going all in on him. Nobody needs fake coaching searches, right?
Yes, I get out of that. So yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like long term, it may or may not be the right move, but just go ahead and making your mind up and saying, you know what, this is my guy. I went out to him last year. That's my guy. That's the right move, in my opinion, because you actually standing on what you believe in. You didn't do that last year. Well, speaking to Zach Kleiman, you didn't do that last year.
That's right.
So
that's right. Parrish, where can people find you at, man?
Yep, man. Follow me on Twitter, Daone, DAONE_P Shark every day, all
Every
day.
day. Where can they find your
Most of the
articles at? Where can they find your written work?
Yeah, BillStreetBears.com. Ashley was working on one about the coaching hire when you put the link in the chat for us to come on the show. So he'll be up soon.
Shout out. All right, everybody, hit us in the comments, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, follow us, man. We're here every day. We're here providing good content for you. Hit us in the comments, man. Let us know what you think. Was this answer Chris's questions? Not whether you like or dislike, but was this the right move? Hiring Tuomas Iisalo as the head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies. Shout out to you, Parrish. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Rusty. Shout out to Anthony for joining. And we will see you back here next time.